watch them play.
11 returning starters on one side, 9 for the Blue Devils, so a ton of experience out on the pitch here this evening. There's Delaney Graham, a mainstay in the lineup, although where she appears on the field has changed over the course of her career. One thing is for certain, she's going to be out there for a ton of minutes this season.
Just a jack of all trades, and when head coach Robbie Church in his 21st season talks about Delaney Graham, he calls her his fittest and his fastest player, someone who just never gets tired. And well, I have a lot of respect for that because I would be out of breath if I had to run this field up and down probably just twice.
I was out of breath on the walk to the elevator, which it then took up to the 3rd floor here at Kennedy Tower. Delaney Graham into the 18-yard box already. And the Blue Devils earn the first corner 31 seconds into this match. Great start for Duke.
Hey,
this is one of those important set pieces in the matchup that head coach Robbie Church for Duke was talking about, just finishing off the set pieces, getting some type of result, something happening, whether it's a shot, whether it's a corner in their attacking third.
Tess Bodie will tee it up for the Blue Devils. Bodie, a draft pick, but decided to come back to play her final season in Durham. Outswinger ends up near the penalty spot. Caitlin Cosme, as she so often is, the target of that service. Razorbacks on the break. Look at the speed closing down Delaney Graham. That time, it was Parker Goins, another draft pick in the NWSL. She by Racing Louisville. And Arkansas will look to put the pressure on early. Very interesting matchup of styles that we will see here tonight in Durham.
So different because Arkansas, a team that wants to move the ball up fast, they are not going to swing the ball around their back line. They are going to transition upfield as quickly as possible. Duke on the other team, a little bit more methodical. They like to pass the ball around, spread out the field, and create chances.
Header on goal from Taylor Malum, easily handled by Ruthie Jones, who gets her hands on the ball for the first time in the 2021 fall regular season. Of course, these programs played in the spring of this year, part of just a bizarre COVID-affected 2020-2021 season. Things, fingers crossed, set to take place in a much more normal fashion this go-around. Offside flag is up for the first time.
Which, Ryan, it'll be interesting to see how these athletes also transition from that 2020 to 2021 season, not getting as long as of a break as they're used to between seasons.
Pressure on from Arkansas, the takeaway, but Nabet is there for the Blue Devils. Looking for Cooper, has that extra gear, nearly got around Brianna Hunter, who Coach Colby Hale thinks could very well be the best true defender in the nation. That'll be a fantastic matchup. We've got quite a few individual matchups as well as the team style that we talked about that's going to make this one, I think, really entertaining for people straight out of the gate here in 2021. A lot of contact there. Foul is called. That time it was Anna Padudgel administering the foul. As the Razorbacks possess here. Allison, your thoughts on what Arkansas will need to do to have success here, get a result on the road. I guess technically maybe a neutral site matchup because it's tournament play, but let's be honest, home game for the Blue Devils.
Well, one of the most important things is to play at their own pace, is to speed up the game. A team, again, that likes to transition fast. They want to play the feet upfield. They'll shoot the long ball down the flanks, work their way inside, but a team, again, that wants to work really fast and win the turnover game. Really important for them to get the first touch.
Flip it over, other side, Blue Devils. What do they need to do to get a result here to start their 2021 campaign?
Keep possession and do not chase the ball. Again, Arkansas, a team that plays with pace. Instead of chasing the ball, get that first touch, get the ball first, maintain possession and work upfield so that you're not tiring out, again, against a team that plays with a ton of pace. They also need to keep the pressure high up the field because if Arkansas gets the ball in line with the defense, they are going to go full speed ahead.
4.5 minutes in. Back and forth we've gone.
Caitlin sandwich. Watch the long throw.
Be a throw-in, I believe, for Arkansas.
Emily, front.
Looks as though it might be a long throw.
If you have a long throw, this could be a pretty sweet spot. Treat it like a short corner.
Just outside the 6-yard box is where it lands. Sophie Jones is onto it. She is fouled. Can Duke make Arkansas chase the ball here in the early going? Maybe try to wear the Razorbacks down, especially in this gruesome humidity in North Carolina. A late challenge there against Sophie Jones. As you can see, the third-team All-American. Recaptured by Parker Goins. Razorbacks look to turn quickly once again. Nice job by Emily Royson stepping in. Another restart for the Blue Devils. 39 and change to go in the first half.
Ryan, another thing to keep your eye on is also the spacing and the positioning that Duke is playing with, at least to start off this season. They're playing in a 3-4-2-1, so they're working on spreading out the field, and that is where the game of possession really comes into play, working onto your flanks outside, but also packing the middle. So a pretty interesting formation for them to start off on this season, but I know it's something that head coach Robbie Church was kind of stressing to us, just changing it throughout the course of the season, but right now he's always going to change to what he has talent-wise, and for this program, it's looking like the 3-4-2-1 is the way to go to start.
Nabet, middle of the field. Tess Bodie somehow evades the tackle, but it ends up with Arkansas all the same. Graham gets a foot on it and takes possession for the Blue Devils. Calling for it is Mackenzie Pluck, trying to make the run in behind Hunter. Instead, it's a throw-in. Pluck brings a little bit more pace on the field. Some question as to whether she would get the start today. Coach Robbie Church deciding on those final few spots. Pretty close to game time here. It is Pluck, who has a lot of experience. Had a goal and 5 assists last year, did Pluck. There she is, the flick on toward Graham. Giving chase is Dunnick. Graham's going to win the race. Gives you an idea of the speed of Delaney Graham. Dunnick had a step at least. But it's Graham who earns the corner. Second one for the Blue Devils here in the early going.
Graham very smooth in her pace of play as well. Just steps right into it.
So versatile. Graham has played all over the field during her career. It's Bodie again to serve the corner. Stack of Blue Devils right on the penalty spot for now. 4 of them, to be exact. Ball bounces a couple of times in the 18-yard box. Race for the loose change. Nabet tries to go with the back heel, but gives it away.
This is where Duke needs to be careful with the speed that Arkansas likes to push up field with.
Jones well off her line. Take a look at Ruthie Jones and what she did a year ago.
80% save percentage, 56 saves, 4 goals against.
Sister of former Duke football player Daniel Jones and current Duke basketball player Bates Jones. The Jones family, quite the pedigree here at Duke. Cosme puts it back in play, looking for Cooper. Cooper has got the speed to get in behind defenders. The initial touch, one more to her left. And Cooper, the save is made by Warner. Oh, both student athletes flashing their talent there. Cooper beating a pair, and then Warner making the save. She has had a huge impact on this Arkansas program since arriving, played in the spring, couldn't play in the fall. Oklahoma State transfer announcing her presence here in 2021.
Getting a nice little touch of the talent also though that Michelle Cooper plays with. That first touch control, getting behind the defense inside.
You can tell Cooper's pace is going to be something that opposing defenders are going to have problems with. Interesting, the offside flag was not up there. I thought she might have been off by a step or two. Instead, we play on. 35 minutes to go here in the first.
She stepped up and met the ball onsides before she stepped back, so
yeah,
good call.
The official, certainly with a better look than I. Let's take another look at the save by Hannah Warner.
The long ball upfield. A really good read here by Cooper. Again, this first touch, look how dangerous and close she keeps it to her foot. Finds space, but, I mean, Hannah Warner all over it, laying her body out. Not giving an inch.
That second touch, beating the initial defender, and then that second touch, I thought for sure at that point she was going to score, but what a way to close down the angle by Warner. Just no hesitation whatsoever.
And to give credit also to the Arkansas defense there, creating that window. The window opened up, but then Warner was able to come in, so there wasn't much room for Cooper to kind of play with there in front of the net.
Bodie comes over to retrieve. Over the sideline it goes. A lot of action here in the opening 11 minutes.
Stay hot. Stay hot. Good. We win it here. We win it here. Block it. We win it. Good. Drop.
Bodie into the Arkansas bench. Not only the talent, but the depth for both of these teams. There will be no let-off whenever the first set of substitutions do come on. DiFilippo tries to control it. Instead, it ends up with Groff. Here you see the pressure from Arkansas, giving the Blue Devils some trouble. Sophie Jones. Bodie tried to return it to Jones. That high press for the Razorbacks.
Yeah. No, thank you for.
Graham wins it back.
I don't think they saw the defender
Pluck on the ball for Duke, looking to make that turn and does. Jersey being grabbed from behind, that's gotta be yellow. Has to be a yellow card, right? There it is. I believe the referee reaching. Professional foul there given to stop the transition opportunity. Blue Devils had numbers and momentum going forward.
Yeah, just a bit obvious here. You can't do that right in front
That
of the ref.
first one, I thought the first one was obvious, and then the second one was more than obvious. I don't know what's above obvious, but B.
It's a
Franklin.
stronger grab,
Yeah.
throws off the balance. I mean, there's nothing
Yeah. Well,
that
Franklin
can
knew what
stop
she
you
was
from
doing
getting a
there.
yellow card with that.
Yeah, that's what you give. But she felt like that was a situation that called for it. Now she's got to be careful. I mean, we're only 13 minutes less than into this game. She'll be playing on a yellow for the rest of the game. Franklin, another one of the transfers. Such an important player for this Arkansas team. Into the 18-yard box. That one fed across. Parried away as Pluck gives watch on the opposite sideline. Franklin arriving from Notre Dame. Coach Hale said, "You will notice her on the field." I don't know that that's what he had in mind, but
Well, he called her a really good ball winner. She's able to get to the ball, bring it down out of the air.
Blue Devils knocking on the door here. Cooper had another strike at it. It's been good from the Blue Devils here in the last few minutes. Both teams creating chances. Duke with the better of them to this point. Only 2 official shots for Duke, 1 for Arkansas, but feels like there's been more action than that. Graham, will play it back to Jones. Nabet wins it to Bodie. Nabet, so good in the air for somebody of her stature.
And you see that across the Duke lineup. Not the tallest team out there, but the verticality that they have inside the box, whether they're defending or on the attacking end, they have some pretty good height.
Jones fouled again. Cosme finds Jones. Duke has pushed Sophie Jones a little farther back in the formation this year. They want her to be more a part of the build. Ball needs to be on her feet as much as possible.
I like what Coach Robbie Church told us also about Sophie Jones. He's like, you know, in the offseason, we tried to clone her. It didn't work. We needed 2 of her, but we had to settle on dropping her back a bit because she's so important in their build.
Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of teams out there that could use a couple of Sophie Joneses. Olivia Migley was on the ball a moment ago on the far side. Migley got quite a bit of time as a freshman. Now Mackenzie Pluck. Graham looking to make that run in from the outside. Played away nicely at the last moment by Malum, but it's another corner kick for Duke.
Duke racking up the corners early on. Nice through ball, almost there to Graham, just a step away. Nice play defensively though. Don't give Graham an inch again, she'll take it because she's so quick.
Malum yet another draft pick. Here's Tess Bodie. Played in the direction of Cooper. Migley giving chase. Looking to turn on Malum. Nice defending by Malum there, but Migley keeps possession. Good battle here, one-on-one. Migley looking for some help, perhaps. Splits 2 defenders and then draws the foul. How about the effort there for Olivia Migley, the sophomore out of Haymarket, VA. Draws the foul.
Battling through here, a double team that's trying to collapse in on her. Again, keeps the ball close to her feet, not giving a ton of space, does break through and eventually gets the foul in a really nice position of the field. This is a big set piece opportunity for the Blue Devils.
So Migley creates this chance, 28 and change to go in the first half. Bodie this time far side of the field, Jones standing alongside her.
You're gonna look for the run inside the box here for Duke.
Looking far post. Headed away. Graham giving chase. First touch, trying to get around the defender. Played on the ground. Cosme is still inside the box. Nice job by Warner to hop on top of it once again.
Locked in on the ball. Warner just eyes for like lasers for eyes. She just knows where it is at all times. Her head just completely on a swivel here. You see the second feed in by Graham. A chance, and the ball kind of slowly rolling. Could have been anyone's ball at that point, but Warner coming out to scoop it up.
All of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Razorbacks an opportunity, and they find the crossbar. Perhaps offsides? No, just a goal kick. Saw the flag up momentarily, and just against the run of play, you see how quickly Arkansas can counter as Van Fossen looks to check in.
This is the Arkansas dynamic. Getting behind the defense, getting a quick touch again, not wasting time in possession, but moving fast upfield.
Pluck checking back to the ball. Bodie dispossessed, working hard to retake, however. It's Van Fossen who earns possession for Arkansas, and now Bodie given a yellow card for a little something after the whistle. Van Fossen, who checked in just a moment ago, has Bodie in the book. So 2 really important players, B. Franklin and Tess Bodie, on yellow cards here. As we take a look, it came after the whistle, so nothing there. And there's Tess Bodie.
I don't know if I would call that intentional. Looking like she's trying to get her footing underneath her, but
Van Fossen, the senior, with an experienced bit of gamesmanship there, draws the yellow card, having an impact early on in this one. I agree. I was looking to see if the foot kicked out at all. It didn't seem like it did, but
yeah, no, it definitely looked like just stepping,
well.
Trying to find balance, stepping underneath, because there was some contact between, the 2 athletes, so trying to refine their footing.
It also could be an opportunity for the official just to make sure the game
stays clean.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't get out of hand here. Still so much time left. Feels like we've played 60 minutes already, and not even 20 thus far.
And to give credit to the refs, it's their first game back too. They're ironing out the details just like both programs are.
And that's the thing. These teams, sport of women's soccer in general, not a lot of practice time. The preseason is so short. Student athletes have really only been on campus and practicing for a little more than a week or so. And all of a sudden, a top 15 matchup that could have seeding implications for the NCAA tournament. Straight out of the gates, there's Cooper. Pluck to her left, Bodie to her right. Tried to go to Pluck. One back by Jones. Cooper had her foot stepped on. And Fossen down on the ground once again. She's been all over the place here in the couple of minutes since stepping on.
Ball into open space.
Padudgel and Cosme battling for it.
You can give her a card. It's late. You think that's funny? It's a late tackle.
Arkansas, a team that prides themselves on their speed, but up to this point, Duke is pretty neck and neck with them. Chasing down the ball, there hasn't been a clear advantage either way.
Franklin sends it out wide. Groff is there. Ball still in play. On the ground, flicked on. It's off a hand in the box, and it's in the back of the goal. Arkansas takes a 1-0 lead here at Koskinen Stadium.
The ball just trickling its way through. Multiple athletes getting a touch on it for the Razorbacks. A full team effort, keeping the ball low. Little kickback, little switch, and then the finish by Parker Goins.
It was off the hand of Cosme. I thought it was going to be a penalty given, and it may have been had play not continued, and it didn't continue very long because Parker Goins, first pick of the third round by Racing Louisville, third team All-American a year ago, makes it 1-0 Arkansas here at Koskinen Stadium.
Led her team with 8 goals in the 2020-2021 season.
It's an Arkansas team scored 37 goals in 16 games a year ago.
Yeah, averaging 2.3 goals per match.
Blue Devils not used to conceding at all. This is not a team that gave up many goals, just 17 in 21 games last year. Eternity left in this game, and the Blue Devils with plenty of opportunities to this point, but it's Arkansas opportunistic. Jones looking to lay it off, finds Cooper eventually. Pluck does well to shield the ball. Looking for Cooper, a bit too much on the service though.
Arkansas also with good communication in their back line, drawing the double team, helping each other out, being in those help positions. Multiple times now we've seen another defender slide over and try to close the gap. Put more pressure on the offensive line for Duke.
1-0 Arkansas, and I think that only highlights the effort by Warner on the stop against Cooper. Would have made it 1-0 Blue Devils at the time. Instead, keeps the sheet clean for the Razorbacks, and now Arkansas is struck first. Arkansas will turn around and play North Carolina in Chapel Hill a few days from now. Blue Devils top 20 matchup against Washington. We'll have that game for you right back here on ACC Network Extra on Sunday.
Hey, who's this one? 16.
Long throw from Goins. Follows up her own throw. There's Cooper looking to turn. and Fossen steps in. Hunter is there for Arkansas. Blue Devils break out. 3-on-4, Razorbacks with numbers back.
Cooper looking for the give and go.
Beautiful ball by Cooper. Another nice job by Warner. She's been aggressive all evening, but not overly aggressive. Bodie a half step away. If Warner hesitates even a moment, that's probably 1-1.
Warner, she is fun to watch.
The state of Oklahoma, it's a state that's been good to the Arkansas Razorbacks on the recruiting trail, that's for sure. The tackle by Van Fossen. Bodie pulled, pushed, and another yellow. Physical start to this one. Not malicious, these aren't really hard challenges, but they're certainly intentional. And the jersey grab, that one right there. Of course, the Bodie one was a little bit different.
A very clear hook of the arms. Again, you cannot get away with that, not at this level. And I think that there was just so much hype also surrounding this matchup coming in to the game. Both teams playing with a lot of extra adrenaline to start off the season. And some mental mistakes there in the contact game, but something the refs are looking to clear up.
If this is what it's like at the start of this game, imagine what the final 15 minutes are going to be like. Cooper, heavy touch there. Continues to be a target for the Blue Devils. The Sydney Simmons comes in for Lily Nabet, playing one of those holding midfield positions. We'll take a mandatory hydration break. It is ridiculously hot and humid. I think that's the technical term for meteorologists. We'll step away for a moment here on ACC Network Extra. Arkansas 1, Duke nothing. Thriller here in Durham, North Carolina. Come back on the other side of the break. Can the Blue Devils even it up? Will the Razorbacks expand their lead? What a start to 2021. There's a look at Parker Goins, the goal scorer for Arkansas. Third-team All-American, 3-time preseason All-SEC as she is this year. Getting the start for Coach Colby Hale, and here's another look at the goal.
Relying on her quick reflexes, a one-touch slammer to the back of the net. Gets her body around it, squares off her hips. Just impeccable execution there.
Yeah, the ball was tracked down. Looked for a moment like it might roll over the line for a corner kick. Could have been a throw-in. Just sort of nestled into that, quarter of a circle near the flag. All of a sudden the cross, the flick on.
Some weird spins happening,
and then the bounce off the hand of Cosme, and then Goins just buries it. No doubter in behind Ruthie Jones. Certainly nothing that she was going to do there. 21:03 on the clock. If you're just joining us, you have missed only 24 minutes on the clock, but about 4 games worth of action here on ACC Network Extra. Goins, the difference maker on the scoreboard, but opportunities for both teams. Tremendous goalkeeping by Hannah Warner. We've seen Michelle Cooper flash the talent that she was heralded for before her arrival here on campus. What a weekend of soccer here on Tobacco Road, Koskinen Stadium, and 7 miles away in Chapel Hill. It's not a stretch that you could be seeing at least 3 of the 8 quarterfinalists in this year's NCAA tournament here this weekend. And that's certainly no disrespect to Washington, who with a top 20 ranking certainly looking to make some noise of their own. Pluck. Bodie corrects her run. Nice challenge there by Hunter. Just stones Mackenzie Pluck. Migley is there though. Warner leaves, no question.
You can hear Warner directing the traffic in front of her from all the way up here in the press booth. Vocal, confident, back there in between the pipes for Arkansas.
Delaney Graham. And Fossen electing to go with the back heel there as we take a look at the games we just talked about. Noon, Allison Gaskins and I will be back here on ACC Network Extra with the Huskies and the Blue Devils, and then Arkansas and North Carolina, ACC Network at 1 p.m. Bodie couldn't quite time the run. Offside flag is up.
Good thought, though, by Cooper.
Yeah, Cooper not just a goal scorer. Has a good touch on the ball as well.
An athlete who head coach Robbie Church again has spoken very high praise of early on here in her freshman campaign. Someone who he claims the defense is really hard to break her off the ball. So having that strong composure, but also her acceleration is what makes her such a weapon.
Simmons plays it back. Pressure continues from the Razorbacks, and they've got the depth. They can keep that going. That's always the question, right? Can you keep that pressure going for 90 minutes? I haven't seen it play out just yet, but you get the impression the answer is yes. As Kylie Delaney checks in. Blue Devils make a change as well. Mary Kate McGuire. 3 goals and 6 assists a year ago for McGuire. Those 6 helpers led the team. Another corner for the Blue Devils. Their 4th of the game. It's Bodie once again. Duke bunched up at the penalty spot once more. Sophie Jones in front of Hannah Warner. And now she makes a run toward the ball, looking for the short corner. And that one read well by Parker Goins, who clears it away. Goins, that goal of hers, 30th career goal, now tied for 4th in program history at Arkansas. A little discombobulated that time for Hunter, who concedes the corner. Rare mistake for the senior.
Goins also recently named to the Mac Herman Trophy watch list along with Anna. Earlier, I think today, this morning, it was announced.
Bodie's been busy serving corner kicks here in the first half. Blue Devils yet to convert, 1-0 Arkansas. Headed away, but another corner coming for Duke. Referee will ask Bodie to make the jog across the field and take it from the other side.
Easy, ladies. You don't need to push. She's not even there yet. 10. I'm watching you. Don't want to give a sheep.
Referee will take the opportunity to have a chat with the cluster of players near the 6-yard box. Jones streaking toward Bodie once again. This one lifted in the direction of Cooper, who headed it over the goal. Second good opportunity for Michelle Cooper in her first career collegiate regular season game.
Sitting on the edge of your seat, just kind of waiting for her to break through. So many good opportunities and chances. And how about this placement from Bodie right to the head of Cooper. Cooper on top of it, frustrated she couldn't bring it down.
Graham through DiFilippo on that one. DiFilippo, the Louisville transfer. We talked about the ACC-SEC matchup, a couple of former ACC standouts now playing for the Razorbacks. Van Fossen, a couple of goals in Arkansas's exhibition game versus Little Rock, a 5-0 win. Blue Devils 5-1 combined over Georgia and Clemson as Jones pounces on it.
Just drop. Just drop. Help with this.
Blue Devils normally like to build with possession. That time playing a little more directly to Cooper. Cooper looking out wide toward Migley. Instead it's with Delaney. Nice touch there, forced a foul is Groff.
Just a little tangled up there in the footwork.
Maggie Graham looks as though she will check in any moment for the Blue Devils. 13.5 to play in an entertaining first half. Migley chasing down rebound. Cooper touches that one over the sideline. Spiked into the ground there. And then played all the way back to Warner.
Big switch to the field.
Come on, Jeff, come on.
Ava! Come on!
Cooper the first to it. She is fouled, and that'll be another yellow card. This one administered to Swindle. Third yellow for Arkansas in the first half of this game.
Taking a look back. This dangerous slide.
Just late on the challenge. Pair of 18s there, too much speed for Cooper. Swindle, an excellent athlete, SEC caliber softball player as well, electing to play soccer.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been a foul if Cooper was another step or two behind, but it was just the timing of it there.
Kelly grab! Kelly grab!
Yeah, Swindle went all in on that challenge, and the fact that Cooper got there first, it was almost impossible for Swindle not to foul at that point. So Bodie again, Jones there as well, Delaney Graham off to the right. McGuire. Now Migley, as the Razorbacks push their defensive line to the top of the 18-yard box. Sliding tackle evaded by Migley. Ball served in, and Fossen heads it away.
Arkansas controlling the first and second touch there, which something that Coach Robbie Church for Duke stressed the importance of the second touch in this game, knowing that Arkansas is always going to try to get the first touch out of the air, but getting the second touch once it rebounds, that will be key.
Aragon checks in, as does Fitch for Arkansas. On comes Maggie Graham for the Blue Devils.
Both teams with 3 shots apiece up to this point.
And Fossen drives that one. Ruthie Jones punches it away. Nice play there. Blue Devil goalkeeper taking no chances. Jones dumped back behind the play. Less than 11 minutes to play. Razorbacks have made 4 substitutions in this game. The Blue Devils 3. I think both teams feel confident they could go 16, 17 deep at least in this game, if needed, maybe more.
Both teams very deep with quality, which is a nice thing to say, especially this early on in a season. Getting the extra COVID year added on to play for a lot of the athletes out here on the pitch.
McGuire held up very well, not to draw the foul, but to stop the momentum. Savvy play there.
Little give and go action.
And now the foul is called on Graham.
Duke starting to utilize the far side a bit more as his first half progresses. Starting to work further to the outside.
Nine and a half minutes left in the first half. Emily Hauser becomes the 5th substitute for Colby Hale.
Arkansas substitution number 20, Emily Hauser, in the game with number 99, Gillian Fossen.
Franklin, Swindle, and Tankersley all with yellow for the Razorbacks. Tess Bodie, a yellow card for the Blue Devils. McGuire lays it off to Graham. Some fresh legs for Duke. Feet got tangled up there. Referee says nothing. Looked incidental. And then driven over the head of Fitch. McGuire against Hunter. McGuire's so good at posting up her defender. The Graham sisters connect. There is McGuire. Simmons. Cooper and now Jones. McGuire. Sometimes in these games you have lulls of 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't think there's been a 2-minute lull in this contest here tonight. Breakneck pace from the opening whistle. 8 minutes to go here in the first half, and Delaney Graham took an awkward fall there, was fouled by Fitch, and had her leg rolled up on a bit, and you just hope that she's okay. That looked really awkward.
Holding on to her left leg here. Such an important athlete.
Her sister, Maggie Graham. Coach Robbie Church. Now the head coach is exchanging a couple of words. The temperature, it's not just the air temperature that is high tonight. I think the players are running hot, the coaches.
You could feel the anticipation and the intensity from both coaches in our calls to them this week, just anxious to get out there and to face one another. I mean, these programs, they've only matched up not even a handful of times. This is just the 5th overall matchup between Duke and Arkansas, and their last meeting was back in 2016. That was an Arkansas win, a 2-1 win for Arkansas at home, and well, the teams first met up back in 1994, so they don't get to see each other that often. And with the continued development of both programs, both powerhouses with a lot of respect in the NCAA, that made this a highly anticipated matchup.
Looks like Bailey Brewster is warming up and getting some instruction from the Blue Devil coaching staff. She may be the player to come on for Delaney Graham, who will certainly be substituted here with 7:51 to play in the first half, as the training staff continues to look at the preseason All-ACC defender, midfielder, forward, done a bit of everything. The knee examined, a bit more on the lower leg now, and certainly we don't want to speculate on exactly what it is, but Delaney Graham is not the type of player to sit on the ground for very long at all. So you get the sense that it's somewhat serious here. 1-0 Arkansas on the goal from Parker Goins. Terrific goalkeeping in the first half by Hannah Warner to keep the clean sheet for Arkansas. Coach Colby Hale having a conversation with the 4th official near the scorers table.
Hale in his 10th season at the helm for the Razorbacks, 2-time SEC Coach of the Year. He's brought his team to...
Graham being helped off the field, able to put some weight on the leg. Take a look here to see exactly what may have happened.
This little
certainly looked like
some pressure from behind as well.
If you look at the ankle, left ankle right there gets caught underneath.
Oh, I'm not good at watching those type of injuries.
As Allison Gaskins helps herself away from the monitor.
Like, I'll look with my eyes half open.
So here's Brewster, who probably did not anticipate coming on this early in the contest. We'll get a substitution for the Razorbacks. McKenna Saul comes on. Again, 7:51 left in the first half in a 1-0 game.
Well, Brewster, an athlete who was the 15th ranked recruit by Top Drawer Soccer, 8th best defender in the country. And again, as you mentioned, her freshman campaign, her first time out here on the pitch, an athlete who Coach Church said very well could start, but just with how deep our bench is, she'll be entering the game later on.
And later on is the first half, given the injury to Graham. Warner puts it in play. Here's Cooper. McGuire in front of her.
Space on the right side.
Cooper from distance ties it at 1. It was Warner who had gotten the better of the matchup earlier in the game on a couple of occasions. Now this time Cooper buries it to even the score at 1 apiece.
Waiting for this moment, multiple opportunities, and Cooper pumped about that one, fighting her way through here. Again, keeps the ball close to her feet, so composed, reads the opening, keeps it low, but with so much power and force behind it, it actually gets there a little bit quicker than Warner anticipated.
Yeah, Warner's got it. She's frustrated. You could tell she was there, just kind of squeezed between her arms.
Just maybe a millisecond behind that shot, or it would have been a save for Warner.
We're about 25 yards out. Cooper cashes in the equalizer. Something tells me we're not done with the scoring here at Koskinen Stadium. Still 6.5 to play in the first half. What a response for the Blue Devils. Down a goal. All of a sudden, one of your best players goes down with an injury, and the freshman comes up with the goods as Nikki Chico checks in for Olivia Migley. Ton of personnel for both teams. 18 players have seen the field for the Razorbacks. Now 16 for Duke. Bodies on the field all over the place.
Ryan, you can tell a lot about a team also by the way that they respond, and Duke responding after down a goal and losing Delaney Graham for who knows how long, coming back out there and connecting, finishing off a goal to even out the scoreboard. That also speaks to the maturity of this program and just how they're able to respond in those situations.
Four shots officially, 1 goal for the Blue Devils. 3 shots, 1 goal for the Razorbacks. Both in the run of play. No set pieces are going to be important in this game, but both goals coming in regular circumstances. Sophie Jones watches it roll over the sideline. This is any indication of what the 2021 season is going to be like.
I'm all in.
It's going to be a fun ride this year, no question. And both of these teams play such good conference schedules, and then to step out of conference and play games like this is Warner forced to give that one a real good look as McGuire tried to bend it far post.
Keep doing it again, okay?
Aragon plays it forward. Chico is there for Duke.
Duke starting to send more long balls upfield, getting more comfortable with their transition from defense to offense, something that was a focus for Coach Robbie Church early on in the season. Said we're really good transitioning from our attacking end back to the defensive end, but kind of looking to get more momentum from defensive to offensive.
Looked like Ava Benedetti wanted that ball played to feet. Here's Brewster. McGuire using the body, tried to lay it off to Royson. McGuire bothering Hauser. Cosme. And now Cooper.
Cooper taking time, doesn't have any help up top yet, so she'll drop off.
What a monumental goal for Cooper to score her first collegiate goal after thinking in her mind, judging by her really high standards, that she maybe should have had 1 or 2 already, could easily have been frustrated about it instead. Within the first half of her college career is already in the book.
That's what she was waiting for, that breakthrough moment, your first collegiate goal. Definitely a moment she will always remember.
Onside, the run from Royson. Warner once again does well to come off of her line quickly, voices her frustration with the official, and now the referee will have a chat with Emily Royson. Perhaps those couple extra pokes at the ball when it was in possession of the goalkeeper is what that conversation centers around. Good crowd here tonight at Koskinen Stadium under the lights here on ACC Network Extra. Final 2 minutes of the first half. Regular season opener for both of these teams, both in the top 15. Jones called for what I believe was a handball.
What Jones does so well is she makes herself big. She covers a lot of space. She protects the ball every time it comes near her. That one just getting a touch of the hand on it, but doing still a good job before that with protecting the ball.
Hauser plays that one into the 18-yard box. It bounces precariously. Brewster is there. Still not out of trouble. Fitch has defended well. And possession for, it will be to Duke.
One minute remaining.
Hauser on it for Arkansas. Bit of a mishit there. Chico will track it down for Duke. Hard challenge again, and I think it'll be another card. The fourth yellow card in the first half. This one issued to Kylie Delaney. You can see the mandate: play hard, play aggressive. And Arkansas has certainly taken that challenge. Blue Devils will need to spend plenty of time in the ice tub after this game. 4 yellow cards on pretty hard challenges, and a couple of those were the intentional grab of the jersey. So I'd say 2 kind of on the tackle, 2 on those jersey pulls. Tess Bodie given a yellow for the Blue Devils. That was for a trip after the whistle. More of an unsportsmanlike situation there, at least as read by the official. Replay showed perhaps not quite there, but again, hard to fault the referee, who's just trying to maintain some order. Doesn't want this one to get out of hand. It's been too good a game to let it get out of hand. Final few seconds here in the first half. What a first 45, Allison, in this one.
High energy, it's physical. I mean, like you said, it's a great representation for what this 2021 season could look like. A lot of talent, a lot of really good soccer.
A 1-0 lead for the Razorbacks on the goal from Parker Goins. The answer provided by Michelle Cooper. Through 45 minutes, we are at halftime here at Koskinen Stadium. Regular season opener, ACC, SEC. It's all part of the Carolina Nike Classic. There's the goal, 30th of her career for Goins. Cooper, her first, certainly not her last. Back with more from Koskinen.
That's what they have them there for, playing in that unique 4-3-2-1 position. They want to spread the field, so getting back into that mindset, not letting Arkansas control the pace, but again, spreading the field and then keeping their possession, not playing kickball. Towards the end, we started seeing that game, as I mentioned just moments ago, but settling back down and playing to feet.
They use that phrase, settling down, as we take a look at the stats from the first 45 minutes. Blue Devils generating half a dozen corner kicks, all the yellow cards. Duke had 1 as well. Arkansas actually had more yellow cards than shots. But I thought the response by the Blue Devils, Michelle Cooper missed a couple of opportunities early, cashes that one in to make it 1-1. Delaney Graham goes down, although the way she was running on the sidelines, wouldn't be surprised to see her back in this game, and I would not have thought that after we saw the replay of her injury. Blue Devils coming back after Arkansas had really taken it to them for the first bit of this game and had a 1-0 lead to show for it. There is Delaney Graham. You would not think, if we showed you the replay right now, you would have thought she broke that left ankle, quite honestly, and instead, showing her toughness, cannot possibly be feeling great right now, but wants to be out there for the second half of this one.
She looks ready to go too. But that fall, yeah, it was hard for me to watch, but it's so good to see Delaney Graham back out there, and that means a lot for the Duke Blue Devils to have her active, ready to go, as we mentioned, on the right side. So much speed. She can add a lot of service from the flank position.
So versatile, too. She's played so many different positions. As Delaney Graham, third-team All-ACC a year ago, preseason All-ACC this year. Razorbacks huddle up and try to regroup. They had the lead. They had the momentum. Playing right on that edge. Physicality, but there is a line, and you don't want to cross it.
And that's where that importance of just playing a clean second half comes into play here in Durham, is just for Arkansas to be able to settle back down, because if this is an NCAA game, you're in the tournament, which this is a team that is looking to get back to the NCAA tournament again this season. But you need to learn how to control your emotions out there and to not get yourself in trouble with too many yellow cards going into red cards, but cleaning up the game and just playing 2 feet, playing safe, playing clean. This team has a little bit to fix here in the second half, I would say.
And there you see the adjustments that you want to see Arkansas make. You mentioned clean it up. The high press as well. That's one of their calling cards.
Well, it's working for them. Keep the high press. They're sending the ball over. They're getting really good first touches on the ball. I would also add to that list cleaning up the second touch, as well as cleaning up their overall physicality. As we mentioned, 4 yellow cards in the first half of action. That's too many.
Hannah Warner has been terrific for the Razorbacks. I know she would want to have that goal back. Cooper was the goal scorer, but tough couple of deflections off a leg and off of her own hand, and there are your second half adjustments for the Blue Devils.
Keeping possession. This is a team that likes to play a bit more methodical, and when they get into their rhythm, rather than playing to the rhythm of their opponent, they're going to find success. So playing to feet, playing possession, building from the back up, maintaining that possession game, and using the sidelines, using the flanks, using the speed from Delaney if she's on the outside again, use that service.
And Graham is back out there. She does bring that dimension to the field with her for the Blue Devils. Back out to start. Far side of the field here in the second half. There is Graham.
So good to see her back out there.
Duke with 5 shots in the game. 4 of them have come off the foot of Michelle Cooper. Royson plays that one away. Foul called. And Arkansas with the set piece opportunity. Just more than a minute into half number 2.
Look around, good catch.
Let's go, Caitlin. Step right.
Hey, Kenny Graf, get on the back side. Drop Royson with her.
Oh, good service. Jones aggressive once again. Second time she's come off her line to punch the ball. That's an area she's worked on, handling the ball in the air, and she's been decisive here on a couple of occasions in this game. Good serve that time. Very, very dangerous, looking for the flick on, and it was there with Jones off her line.
Very smooth ball inside. Arkansas really just trying to push the ball forward as quick as they can. Good coverage, though, defensively.
Played away by Groff. Right back into the mixer. Jones will try to settle things down a bit. Given away instead once again. Chipped in with the left foot. There's the flick on. Jones handles it easily, though.
And you see there, just in the course of the last about 15, 20 seconds, multiple services inside the 16 for Arkansas, just trying to push the ball forward on that first touch opportunity.
Pluck off to the races. She's got good pace. She's the first to it. Pluck taken down and awarded the penalty.
Inside the 16.
Warner will argue the case. We'll take a look at it, I'm sure, on replay, but Mackenzie Pluck, a good 2 or 3 steps behind the defender, kicks it into 4th gear and creates something out of nothing for the Blue Devils, and it looks like Tess Bodie will step to the penalty spot.
All the speed. Driving on the outside, working in, gets tripped up inside. Taking a closer look at it from a different angle, a push also with the left forearm, an extension of the arm.
Swindle needed to be careful there. She wasn't awarded a yellow card. That would have been her second. So here's Bodie against Warner, looking to give the Blue Devils a 2-1 lead. Calm, cool, and collected. 2-1 Duke. A great finish for a great player, Tess Bodie, the NWSL draft pick. Back to Durham for one final season, and she's given her team its first lead of the 2021 fall season.
Couldn't have asked for any better of a placement off that kick from Bodie, doing really good at making the net look big, because when you're standing there in a PK and you're looking at the net, it starts to look really small, especially as a goalkeeper begins to come out. So maintaining her composure and just looking like a pro out there.
So Arkansas trails for the first time. They play with a frenetic pace naturally. Got to imagine that that will only be exacerbated by this 2-1 deficit. Tess Bodie with a team leading 6 goals last year, along with Caitlin Cosme and Olivia Migley. Here's Pluck once again, trying to get downhill. Has some help to her right. Pluck runs into a couple of defenders, and then that one is chipped just wide by Delaney Graham, who was falling to the ground. Couple of players down in behind the play. Mackenzie Pluck just absolutely causing issues for the Arkansas back line here in the second half. Looks like that is Brianna Hunter down. So we've seen 2 premier players down in this game. Delaney Graham has come back to play in the second half, nearly scored there to make it 3-1. There is Hunter, the senior out of Pflugerville, Texas. SEC preseason watch list, 3-time preseason All-League.
And she's their steady presence in the back line. She's solid back here. We've seen Hunter get multiple stops already in this matchup.
Well, Mackenzie Pluck won't get an assist for that goal that made it 2-1, but that's just it's kind of a technicality, right? I mean, she created that entire play with her speed and effort. Swindle had a couple of steps, had the angle. Pluck got there first. And if you take another look at Pluck's latest venture into the 18-yard box.
Such good closing speed.
Looks like a little knee on knee there, maybe. Pluck and Hunter. Hopefully Hunter is okay.
And Pluck in that last play, if you don't look at the contact that happened, Pluck just held on to the ball a little bit too long, 1 or 2 steps too long.
41:09 on the clock, 2-1 Duke. Blue Devils have scored early here in the second half.
Always good, though, when an athlete can walk themselves off the pitch.
I don't believe anybody came on for Hunter, so she'll be able to return here in just a moment. And she does. And now a substitute as Hauser comes on. Off comes Dunnick. Early substitute here for Coach Colby Hale in year number 10. Arkansas has made 6 of the last 7 NCAA tournaments, a couple of SEC regular season titles in a row. Program has won 15 conference games the last 2 years. That's the most of anybody in the league. Migley, near side. Nearly leading Pluck, who tried to skip over it. Migley may have been taken down in behind the play, so a free kick awarded to the Blue Devils. looking to play Cooper directly once again. Bit of a misplay by Swindle, who's had her hands full here in the second half, been challenged on a couple of occasions. It's a really interesting game for Cooper, in my opinion, because there have been some heavy touches. There's, at times, she would have wanted to convert some opportunities. Then you'll see flashes of her speed and, of course, the goal, her power. There's just so much there, so much potential there.
Maybe another opportunity coming up.
And once again, it's Pluck, and once again, it's a penalty. Mackenzie Pluck, spectacular second half. And this time, perhaps, she will be the one to take it.
Almost looks identical to how she was taken down before, nearly the same spot, tripped from behind. There's a push and there's some feet getting tangled up.
Now Pluck to finish what she started. Pluck goes right this time, and it's 3-1 Blue Devils. Mackenzie Pluck has taken over the second half, drawing a pair of penalties for Duke. Bodie converts the first, Pluck the second. It's a 2-goal advantage for Duke here in its season opener.
The definition of an impact player, coming in off the bench and making a difference. An athlete who had 5 assists and 1 goal back in the 2020-2021 season. This year, her senior year, going all out.
We talked about some question as to whether Pluck was going to start this game. She gets the nod, and talk about rewarding your coach. I don't know there'll be that much of a decision to make for Sunday's game against Washington. Getting vertical, using her speed, using the body, shielding defenders, drawing contact, doing so in the penalty area, no less. What a start to the season for Pluck. The Blue Devils, 3 goals now after trailing 1-0, 3 unanswered. Now Arkansas has to find some solutions here. And the first one has to be, how do you deal with 24? Migley using her speed to turn the corner.
Arkansas closing in.
The team defending there. Eventually it was played out by Franklin.
Ryan, this brings us back to one of the focuses for Arkansas in the second half, to play a clean game. Giving up 2 penalty corners or 2 penalty kicks, not okay for the Razorbacks, and that's something that head coach Kobe Hale will most definitely touch on after this matchup.
Duke scored 3 or more goals 5 times this past season. Cooper trying to hold things up as Cosme plays it out of bounds. With the way that the Razorbacks play, a 2-goal deficit in 37 minutes is certainly not out of the question in terms of mounting the comeback. They can score in an instant. We've seen them go down the field in less than 10 seconds early in the game, hitting the crossbar, seemingly out of nowhere. It's the thing, we've had 4 goals in this game. We've also had a crossbar hit, 2 good chances for Duke. Fireworks here at Koskinen Stadium.
Anything could happen, and for the Razorbacks, it comes down to a balance of opposing forces, playing with pace, but also remaining composed. You don't want to play ahead of yourself or play too rushed and make mental mistakes, but you want to play with that pace, moving forward, but also composed at the same time.
And then as Arkansas presses perhaps even more, maybe additional opportunities for the Blue Devils. Here is Pluck. Mackenzie Pluck headed toward the penalty area once more and earns the corner kick.
Fancy with her footwork, just dazzling here on the near side.
The 7th corner kick for Duke in the game. Tess Bodie tees it up once again. Cleared away nicely by Arkansas. Graham is there to gather it back in for Duke and chip it in toward Cosme. Played out wide. Bodie is there. Pluck making the run. Tess Bodie has the ability to curl it in from distance and tries to do so there. Warner keen to it. Snags it easily.
And a big boot upfield from Warner.
Nigley's been on the ball quite a bit here in the second half. So has Pluck. Tackled away nicely that time by Hauser.
Gorgeous
Nigley
through ball.
has Cooper and Bodie alongside her. Dummied by Cooper. Bodie all the way through now to Delaney Graham. Graham chips it far side, looking to go over the top. Warner punches it over the crossbar. Blue Devils feeling it here in half number 2.
A quality shot and a strong save. Graham fires a bullet, chips it in, looking to clip it just inside the crossbar. But the punch save up and over from Warner.
Graham going with the finesse there, trying to chip the goalkeeper. Cooper was there as well if Warner didn't handle it on the doorstep. Another corner kick. All Blue Devils here the last few minutes. It's a little bit against their identity, but you wonder if Arkansas does need to possess just for a moment, just to exhale for a second. They love to push the pace, and they're going to need to come up with 2, but it's been hard for them to hang on to the ball. Look at Mackenzie Pluck putting on a show. Pluck saved by Warner, and that one is played for another corner kick. It's clinic time for Mackenzie Pluck.
New corner kick coming up by Tess Bodie, number 8.
Pluck again working her way inside effortlessly. Warner, good coverage.
Another corner.
The 9th for the Blue Devils.
Drilled in. Jones hacks at it. Cleared away. Cooper, the first to it for the Blue Devils. She can hit it. Cooper off the post. I think Warner got a piece. Jones tries to play it in. Saved by Hunter. Now Migley. Cleared away. We'll take a look in a second. I think Warner gets a finger on that. Otherwise, it's 4-1 Blue Devils. Back the other way comes Arkansas. Delaney Graham is there. Couldn't clear it away initially. And Ruthie Jones gathers it in. End-to-end action here in the Bull City.
If you are not on your feet, go ahead and stand up right now as we watch this replay. Multiple opportunities and saves.
That's a fantastic save. That is fantastic by Hannah Warner. Full extension. Bent nearly perfectly by Cooper. There you see it there. Off the glove, off the post. Warner's had a terrific game. She's conceded 3. 2 of them have been on penalties. 1 deflected twice. And she's had 2 or 3 fantastic saves. She won't like it if her team doesn't get the result, but she has played a great game. Ruthie Jones has that one squirt between the hands, still alive near the penalty spot, but Jones was fouled. Nearly getting one back there, the Razorbacks. Hunter pleading her case to the official. We still have more than a half hour left in this game.
I don't think I was just breathing for the last 20 seconds.
This is terrific. Kudos to both of these teams, by the way, being this well prepared, the coaching staffs. It's not often you see this type of quality play. First game of the year in the heat, in the humidity, not a ton of training under either team's belt at this point.
And it's a unique season because you are getting that extra year of eligibility from your upperclassmen. So it's not like you have to completely transition with the underclassmen group and bring them up, but you have that experience.
Pluck to Cooper, another save by Warner. That one was headed toward the bottom corner as well.
Pluck facilitating this time.
This is
Cooper.
labeled bottom corner.
Yeah, lefty. Lefty release there.
A well-deserved break for Michelle Cooper as Grace Watkins comes on.
Cooper getting a big round of applause as well as she comes off the field from the crowd.
Half a dozen shots, 3 of them on goal. One that beat Hannah Warner, another one where Warner had about 2 inches of one of the fingers on her left hand, off the post. Watkins playing it to Migley, who will get there.
Just crossed
Flag
the
is
line.
up. Yeah, I thought she was going to try to cross it first touch. Instead, tried to settle the ball. It just rolled out of bounds. Well, Coach Robbie Church said Michelle Cooper could be special. Thinks she has a chance to be one of the best in the ACC, and her collegiate debut thus far has not disappointed. Watkins with fresh legs, battling against Delaney, and draws the foul. Set piece chance for Duke. Migley jogging toward the ball. Bodie has taken so many of the free kicks. I think all of the corners for Duke, 9 of them in total. And instead just rolls out of bounds. My apologies, thought a foul was called, but a throw in. And it'll be another throw for Duke. 28 minutes to play, a 3-1 lead for the Blue Devils.
Be aware up top. Anna, Parker. Forcer wide. Man.
Pluck looking to split both defenders and feed Watkins.
Come on, be on your toes. Be ready. Yeah, stand it up. Next ball.
Simmons wins possession.
Go, Parker. Keep it up.
Oh, nice job connecting passes for the Blue Devils there.
Get it up.
Eventually taken away by Malum. Strong controlling touch there for DiFilippo. Here come the Razorbacks. Malum looking to get around Migley, who retreated nicely.
Hey, watch the bending now.
Good, Olivia. Well done, girl.
Okay, let's stay central.
Yeah, Migley's effort there defensively, that was about a 70-yard sprint that earns applause from Coach Robbie Church.
Nothing.
Arkansas with possession in the final third for the first time in a while.
Away.
Back heel.
Keep it up.
Watkins in front of the Arkansas bench, but it rolls over the line. Kylie Delaney
Force the right shoulder.
Razorbacks needing some connected passes here in the attacking third.
I'm not 19.
Grace, turn around. Grace. Gracie, you stay out the back line. You stay right there. Second ball.
DiFilippo is slow to get up. Canadian.
Second ball.
Louisville transfer.
Hey, get together.
Hasn't had a ton of opportunities in the penalty area tonight. Coach Colby Hale says maybe the best he's ever seen in the penalty box. Might have a chance here. Set piece opportunity. Lovely chance for the Razorbacks to get back within one. Lefty service, looking far post. Too much. Lost opportunity for Arkansas. It's got to be put in play. Goins, the goal scorer for the Razorbacks, overcooked it there as Maggie Graham checks in for Jones.
So much of what Sophie Jones has done in this matchup is off the stat sheet. She's been a big impact player in the midfield.
Yeah, Jones had the game-winning goal, double overtime against Arizona State in the second round of the NCAAs. Not known as a goal scorer, as you mentioned. Does a lot of the other things. Watkins, surrounded by a couple of Razorback defenders.
Duke spreading the field more here in the second half as well.
Here's
Finding
Pluck.
success.
Laying it off for Migley. Migley tees it up on the right foot, tried to bend it but couldn't get her foot around it. Another chance that Mackenzie Pluck was right in the middle of.
You can see the strength that Pluck plays with when she goes up against opposing players. It's almost like she has a magnet with the ball to her cleats, her feet. She stays so close and she's so aggressive in how she can power through and beat past pressure.
Such a catalyst here this evening for Duke.
Big difference
Has a goal, created another one. Watkins cuts it in. Cleared away. Watkins has given Duke good minutes since coming on just a bit ago.
Duke also doing a really good job at changing up their point of attack, switching sides of the field, bringing it to the middle, utilizing all their players in their attacking half.
It's really interesting. Going into this game, we talked about a clash of styles. And Duke has gotten away from its usual possession-oriented play. And when we were talking with the coaches and as we were chatting, we felt like if that was the case, that was advantage Arkansas. And yet, Duke has found a way to be a little bit more versatile in their attack. Cooper has given them somebody that they could play more directly. Pluck has carried the ball and taken on defenders. Coach Robbie Church has to be happy that they've got multiple looks they can give teams and multiple ways they can be effective.
And I think a lot of that boils down to the fitness level. It doesn't seem as though Duke, any of their athletes, have tired out from the start of this matchup. Church doing a good job at bringing substitutions in when he needs them, but the physicality, the technicality that Duke is playing with, in addition to their endurance, that's what's paying off.
Goins, a chance. Driven ball. Nobody making the run, though, for the Seminoles. That one was very dangerous, about head high as it traveled through the 18-yard box. We'll take our water break here in half number 2, 22-10 on the clock. Blue Devils have come up with 2 unanswered here in the second half and lead by 2 here at Koskinen. (3-1) Duke over the Razorbacks of Arkansas. Here's how we got here. It was Parker Goins started the scoring. Michelle Cooper the answer from about 25 yards out, and then the Mackenzie Pluck show started here in half number 2.
Pluck has been non-stop creating opportunity after opportunity, creating 2 different penalty kick opportunities, and the Blue Devils converting on both of them. One off the foot of Tess Bodie. The other one, well, Mackenzie Pluck got to take herself.
Yeah, it's one thing to step away from the first, but if you draw 2 penalties in about 5 minutes, you're going to take that second kick.
Almost the exact same, too. It was like we rewatched it happen in the exact same spot. Trip from behind.
There you see the run. The Blue Devils have been on 3 straight goals. Mackenzie Pluck enjoying her 2021 debut. Team's back here out on the field. Heat index just through the roof here tonight. Mandatory water breaks in both halves.
And Pluck very deserving of earning that starting spot in the lineup. I know she had to battle for it a bit in the preseason, but Coach Church definitely knows he made the right decision with her out there on the field.
Let's go, Ruthie!
So Jones puts it in play.
Yeah, Ruth, you're killing it!
For the Razorbacks, it's going to be interesting to see how they come out of that last water hydration break timeout. If they can regroup and build some more momentum, kind of started to feel like they began to deflate throughout the length of the second half, losing a little bit of speed and a little bit of pressure up top.
Pluck, get back and sort it out. Backside. Kenny grab, Maggie, look backside. Pluck, you're in the middle. Pluck.
Score updates from around the league. Tar Heels have expanded the lead now to 4-1 over Washington. It's part of the Carolina Nike Classic. Virginia barely up on Richmond, 8-0. Same with the Tigers over St. Francis. Florida State, Texas A&M, the other game being played this evening. Watkins wins the race and looks for some help. She gets it from Mackenzie Pluck. Pluck beats one defender.
Solid first touch.
Plenty of open space for Mackenzie Pluck. Gets it on the right foot. Oh, what a save by Warner! When somebody looks at the final score of this game, they're going to say, gosh, Arkansas gave up 3 goals. What's up with the goalkeeper? Hannah Warner is having herself a day. It started early against Michelle Cooper. She's been consistent throughout. Absolutely tremendous goalkeeping for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Such a strong presence between the pipes for Warner. She is all over the place, super agile, stands at 5'8", but I mean, she looks like 7 foot out there half the time.
Out there that time to punch it away. No wasted movement either. You see sometimes goalkeepers try to make a big deal, dive when you don't have to. I mean, every time she's had to stretch for a ball.
It's intentional.
Absolutely, and it's necessary. She has stolen a couple of goals away from the Blue Devils tonight. No question about it. Fabulous performance.
Won't be happy about the goals she gave up, but she does have a lot to be proud of when she goes back and looks at the highlights of this matchup.
Blue Devils have 17 shots compared to 3 for Arkansas at this point.
A huge stat differential.
A lot of that discrepancy coming about here in half number 2, just dominated by the Blue Devils from the opening whistle, taking their cue from Mackenzie Pluck.
Duke, a team that averaged under 12.5 shots in the 2020-2021 season. So well above that average. A goal, though, looking for more offensive production this season.
Graham steps in front of that one. 18.5 to play.
That's what we've seen a lot of, getting to the first ball, especially in the second half for Duke. Focus for Robbie Church and his Blue Devils, getting to the first ball and then keeping the first ball.
High in the air for Jones, who has to twist the body a bit to make sure the ball didn't cross the goal line. Again, that's an area of emphasis for her, playing the ball in the air.
It almost felt like just a slow motion grab and pull down here. Maintaining her feet, though. Good awareness to not fall inside.
Watkins able to hold off her defender. Here comes Mary-Kate McGuire, and a very well-deserved break for Mackenzie Pluck.
Gets a nice pat on the back from head coach Robbie Church for her performance tonight.
Tess Bodie. Fancy footwork. McGuire to retrieve. Offside flag is up.
A break for the Arkansas defense, a much needed break for the back line. Still 17 minutes, which plenty of time.
No doubt, and what Warner has done is kept Arkansas in touch. This is 5-1, 6-1. If not for her heroics, this game would be over. You'd be talking about clearing your benches, getting minutes for other players, preparing for Sunday. Instead, you still got a result to fight for.
And this is one of those wins that Coach Robbie Church for Duke defined as a quality win. A quality win that whoever comes away with it today gets to put it in their pocket and carry it with them to eventually the postseason.
Migley from distance there. Warner gobbles that one up. Wonder if Coach Colby Hale is sensing some fatigue. Duke just running freely through the middle of the field now at this point. You're seeing 4 substitutes getting ready to check back in.
And that's what it's felt like here in the second half, just out of energy, out of steam moving forward.
And now Arkansas gonna have to chase the game as well, down a pair. Here come the fleet of subs. DiFilippo in there, Goins as well. Malum comes back on. Padudgel hasn't had her name called very much here this evening. The All-American has been silenced for the most part.
Number 22 in the game, Parker Goins in for number 8, Jay Franklin, and number 14, Taylor Malum in for number 33, Sophia Aragon.
Razorbacks, they're just one play away from being right back in this game. Chipped in and chauffeured over the end line by Migley, who has put in a ton of work All the players wear those wearable, the GPS, try to calculate how much distance they've run. Olivia Migley has to be toward the top of anybody on the pitch here tonight. Simmons will check out as Nabet comes back on.
Substitution for Duke, number 28, Lily Nabet. In the game for number 16, Sydney Simmons.
Final 15 minutes here at Koskinen. Razorbacks need 2. Chico replaces Migley.
For Arkansas, it also feels like if you can just break through, get off some type of result in your attacking third, get off a quality shot, if you can get off a goal, build some confidence, you're right back in this game.
Nabet running through that challenge. It's back with Royson now. If absolutely nothing else, if you're Arkansas, try to build some momentum going into the game on Sunday. McGuire times her run that time. Looking to get past Hunter. Could help that time. But it will be a Duke throw.
The press has even fallen off a bit for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, the intensity level has dropped. No question about it.
You have to wonder if that's from lack of confidence or fatigue.
Chance here, though. That one deflected a couple times. Referee says handball. Sophie Jones walking toward the scorer's table.
Overall pace of play has definitely slowed down from the start of this matchup, where it was so fast coming out of the gates, both programs back and forth, a lot of passes, a lot of speed.
Chico sends it in toward McGuire. Well defended there. McGuire's hard to take the ball from when she's got her body between the ball and the defender.
Yeah, really strong with her back, either to a defender or to the goal. Quick on the turn.
Chico finding McGuire. Groff looking for McGuire. Couldn't connect on the pass. Back the other way comes Goins. Nice job there by Maggie Graham to track back and prevent the corner kick. It'll be a throw for Arkansas. Goins has that long throw in.
Duke defense still not giving up one corner in this matchup.
One in front, one behind. Go. Let's go, come on.
Nikki, tight. Tight with her, Nikki. Somebody's got to back her.
Preparing for a long throw.
And there it is. That one not quite as long as the rest, but she'll have another chance at it.
Not a ton of room on the sideline to work with.
Nikki, go, Nikki, go, Nikki, go.
Opt to go short.
That time it will be a corner. So the first one given up by the Blue Devils. Arkansas golden opportunity here, 10.5 to play. Will the Razorbacks go short?
Arkansas corner kick by number 22, Parker Goins.
In swinger, Jones is there, had to reach over a Razorback attacking player. Foul was called with just over 10 to play. Skip toward Watkins. The bet blocks that one back toward the Razorback defense. Brewster comes on, this time though for Emily Royson. She had gotten some playing time in the first half after Delaney Graham was injured. Tess Bodie will also take a seat.
Brewster again for number 15, Emily Royson.
McGuire and Chico on slightly different pages there. Some pressure here from the Razorbacks. This is what we saw a lot of at the start of the game. Foul is called, and Duke will have a free chance to clear.
Duke has really just settled into this matchup, and something that, again, head coach Robbie Church stressed in our phone call, just how mature this program is and how collected they are. The ability to go to goal and to work their way in transition collectively as a unit upfield, and to not play rushed but to play mature in their responses is something that he spoke to about the dynamic of the team this season. It's showing.
Yeah, this is a good result for the Blue Devils if they can hang on for the final 8.5. This will carry weight as the season continues, no question about it. We talked about how good of an opportunity this was for both sides at the top of the broadcast, and it appears for now as if Duke will be the one to take advantage. But with more than 8 minutes left, still plenty to be determined here at Koskinen Stadium. A reminder, these two teams will both play on Sunday again. Duke will play Washington. Arkansas will head down the road to Chapel Hill and take on the North Carolina Tar Heels. All part of the Carolina Nike Classic. North Carolina and Arkansas on the ACC Network at 1 p.m. There you see it there. Allison and I will have the call of Duke and Washington noon kick on ACC Network Extra.
That'll be a hot game.
Yes.
Today was a little humid and hot out there. Sunday afternoon will that'll
high
be a
noon, high noon and 1 p.m. Bring your thirst-quenching beverage. Yeah.
Your fans.
Need those misting tents. We might need
Yes.
one here in the broadcast booth. Jones on it for the Blue Devils. I noticed you went coffee. Was that iced coffee or
Yes.
okay? That might work on Sunday.
It's way too hot for hot
That's
coffee.
what I was just wanted to double check. It certainly would be on Sunday. As Goins sends that one toward Jones. And of course, Duke will be deliberate with its pace here in the final 6.5.
And that's strategic. The deeper into the season you get, the more fatigue starts to settle in. You're recovering from quick back-to-back games with little time in between, and you're working on, when you have the lead, to maintain possession and to keep it, to close it out, but to not overextend yourself.
McGuire keeps possession there. Here is Chico. Jones behind her. Watkins to her right, playing it off to Grace Watkins, who's inside the penalty area. That one is laid across in the direction of Maggie Graham. Giving chase was Warner, who crawls on top of it. And with less than 6 to play, Warner is down on the field. 2 Razorbacks down in behind the play. Warner is one of them.
Yes, please. 99.
Shaking it off.
It looks like we've got you see the referee making that gesture as though it could be a head-related injury. See Warner trying to walk off whatever was bothering her in the background. Then Fossen appears to be the one still down on the ground. 5:50 to play. Another one of those Oklahoma recruits for Arkansas. She and Taylor Malum broke both from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Parker Goins from there as well.
Anything head related, taking very seriously. Potential head injuries just not treated lightly at all.
Not anymore. You know, 20 years ago it was here the smelling salts and shake your head a couple times, get back out there. So much more now is known about the long-term effects of those injuries. So much more care taken to treat them, and rightfully so.
So many more rules and regulations added in the NCAA and really across sports as a whole to make sure that these athletes are protected.
Take another look here.
Looks like it might have been a little bit of a whip flash as well, hit in the front.
You saw too where Warner just really jammed her shoulder in there.
Better safe than sorry.
Van Vossen really needing some help there to get to the sideline. Can't help but think there's a dehydration element to this as well, perhaps. It's been a long game. 60 minutes plus for Van Vossen. Certainly hope that she'll be okay.
Looks like Warner has shaken off her injuries, or taking a second to regroup.
Warner's look mostly like friendly fire. It seemed like another Razorback defender that she jammed her arm into. Less than 6 to play. Warner hammers it across midfield. Watkins with the foul from behind.
Come on. Keep going wide. Keep going wide. Take a look around. High line. High line.
4 yellow cards for Arkansas, 1 for Duke in the first half. We've just seen, I believe, 1 here in half number 2. And that belonged to the Razorbacks.
Six altogether, which is more than you normally see in a matchup. Two of the top teams going at it.
Yeah, 6 is a lot, no doubt. Duke had,
Can't remember the last time I've seen 6 in a game.
last season, Duke had 8 all year. Arkansas, as we mentioned before, had 18 in 16 games, so just over 1 a game, and they've got 5 this evening. Goins plays it forward. Jones toes on the edge of the 18-yard box. Motions for her team to get upfield. No need to take any chances at this point. Just over 4 to play and a 2-goal lead. Jones is fouled right at midfield.
In our talk with head coach Colby Hale for Arkansas, he mentioned, you know, our goal as a team is to win every game. We think we can, but that doesn't mean that you win them all. You win in what you take away from a matchup, and you win in how you develop as a program. And knowing that, yes, your goal is to win every game, but that's not, always the case. So understanding that balance is a mature mindset for a program to understand. So a lot of takeaways, I'm sure, from this matchup against Duke.
It may not go their way on the scoreboard, but certainly lessons to use the rest of the season for the two-time defending SEC champs.
And this program just keeps getting better and better every year. So
this is a team, very strong side from a year ago that brought every starter back and added an infusion of talent in the transfer market. Very well equipped to make a run. DiFilippo, edge of the 18-yard box, lost her footing and is down in behind the play. That ball is played out for a throw-in.
DiFilippo slow to get up.
Yeah, still hasn't gotten up here with 2:21 to play. Players starting to stretch. Perhaps cramping setting in. Talked about the humidity.
Yeah, I was going to say, every single one of them looks like they just jumped in the pool and got out. Lot of sweat down here.
A 3-1 lead for the Blue Devils. Team's working with the cold towels here. Talked a little bit about what Arkansas could take away from this game. What about Duke? Especially the second half. They've really dominated. Mackenzie Pluck especially at times just simply taking over this game.
It seems that for Duke it's come down to the fact that they can adjust on the fly. They came into this matchup focusing on the game of possession, but they've been able to adjust to the speed of play that Arkansas brought into this matchup. So being able to adjust and collectively as a team cover the entirety of the pitch coast to coast. They started to incorporate more of the flanks, as we had mentioned, coming into the second half, giving them more opportunities and attacking from different areas, especially when they got close to the 16. But for Duke, I think it's also just their response. They've had a really strong response to any adversity that they faced in this matchup, starting down a goal, then potentially losing Delaney Graham, one of their top athletes, for a few minutes, not knowing if she would return, coming back, getting on the scoreboard, and then coming out of the break with a ton of momentum and a ton of belief in who they are. They have not changed their mindset from the start of this game, and you can see a lot about them in their response.
Well, and you can see Jessica DiFilippo, the junior out of Canada, transfer from Louisville, being carried off the field here with just over 2 minutes to play. And we certainly wish her well with what seems to be somewhat of a significant injury here in the final minutes. This game has seen its fair share of physicality. We talked about the yellow cards, a number of athletes slow to get up after the play, hard challenges. This is a game in the very early going of the season there, 27 fouls combined. That means a lot to both of these programs. This is a resume building result. It seems like for Duke, with less than 2 minutes to play, this is one that the committee will be talking about during selection time, and both teams knew it. Both coaches knew it. I'm sure the athletes felt it, and the game was played that way from the opening whistle.
The next question becomes, with the physicality that drained the teams in this matchup, how they can recover for their next games, just a few days in between. And that's something that both head coaches have talked about, just seeing how their teams can also recover early on in this season, playing back-to-back so quick.
I do like the fact that it's a Thursday, Sunday.
That is nice.
Not a Friday, Sunday. Get that extra day. Gotta feel like that makes all
or a Thursday,
difference.
Saturday. It's nice to have the extra 24 hours.
No question.
1 minute remaining.
Chico takes it to the corner flag with under a minute to play.
Hey, yeah, watch up top, Taylor. Parker, left shoulder.
It's going to be a result for the Blue Devils here as part of the Carolina Nike Classic, 3-1 for now.
As Coach Church would put it, a quality win.
Yeah, and it was a quality comeback. It was 1-0 Arkansas. Parker Goins got the first goal for the Razorbacks, and then 3 straight for Duke. Your thoughts, Allison, here as we close out the final half minute at Koskinen Stadium?
There have been so many different heroes in this matchup, but I have to just give another shout out to Mackenzie Pluck. Going all out, drawing 2 penalty kicks. She's the one who kind of shifted the momentum, especially in the second half, in favor of the Blue Devils. A lot of takeaways again. Both teams a lot to be proud of out here, and it's been a really exciting, entertaining matchup.
Yeah, I think 24 in white has to be the woman of the match, but not far behind Hannah Warner, who was just absolutely spectacular. 7 saves, many of them the highlight variety.